Audio.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video, I will show you some of the most commonly used CSS properties that we have. So without wasting any time, let's start our video. So the first property that we have is the background color. So let's have an H1 element to show you the example of background color. So this property will change the color of the background of the H1 element. For now, let's have the blue. So the background color got changed to blue. Similarly, we can have the next property that is color. That will change the color of the text instead of the background. Let's have it as white for now. So with these two properties, we can control the background color and the color of the text for any element you want. Similarly, we have our next property that is font family. It means you can even choose different fonts for your web pages. For that, you need to pick the body tag and use that property that is font family, and you will get plenty of options of different fonts. So let's choose cursive for now. So see, the text got changed to cursive. Similarly, you can choose this impact, or you can choose according to your preference. So the next property that we have is the font size. To have this property, let's have a P element. So you can control the size of the P element or maybe any other element you want. So to have that, you need to have font size, and you can give the required size you want. So see, the font size of the P element got bigger. So you can choose according to your preference. So the next property that we have is the font style. So you can also have font style as italic. Similarly, you can have the font weight as bold. So with these two simple properties, you can choose italic and bold. So next up we have the text transform property. So let me show you the use of this. So as here I have the P element written in small letter. Like we have the P element example. Everything I wrote in lowercase with this property that is text transform. And if I give capitalize, it means it will change the first letter of this, like P, this E, and this E to capital. So see. So with this, you can have the first letter of any word as capital. Similarly, you can have same property. Like you can use different option with this also. Suppose I have this content written in uppercase. So you can make this as lowercase with the same property only, that is text transform. Now choosing lowercase instead of capitalize. So see, although I have written this in uppercase, by using this property, the text got changed to lowercase. So now let's move on to the next property, that is letter spacing. So what is the use of this? So you can have gaps between this text, like spaces in between. Let me show you. So if I give 10 pixel, you will see gap between these. So see. So now you can control this also with this letter spacing property. So now let's move on to the next property, that is padding. To have the padding example, I need to have a div. So let's have a div and keep this P element inside it. So to understand padding, we need to have first this width and height property. So let's have the div So with this width property, you can control the width of any element. These are mostly used for controlling the width of images. Let's have it as, let me first give the background color so that this div will be visible on the screen. Along with this color, that would be white, to make the text white. So now the div is visible. Let's use this width property and make this as 200 pixels. And let's have the height also as 50 pixels. And let us use another property, that is text align. So this text align property will center this p element text. It means whatever text we will have, it will center that with respect to its parent container. Here we have the div, so it will get centered with respect to this div. So now let's have the example of this padding. So what do you mean by that padding? So if I give this padding to 20 pixels, this p element will leave uniform spaces from all the four sides, like from top, left, right, and bottom. So see, let me show you. So here I have this p element. I gave the padding as 20 and it left 20 from all the four sides. Here you will see padding 20 from top, left, bottom, and right. So this is padding actually is. So now let's move on to our next property, that is display. It is one of the important property. So I hope you all been knowing about the display, like the block elements and the inline elements in HTML. So I'm assuming that you already know the HTML parts. That's why I'm focusing more on the CSS properties only. So let me pick one block element, that is the p element. Let's have another block element, that is p element again. Let's have it as block 1 and block 2. So let's give them a background color as red to both of them. So as you already know about the block element, that the block elements take the full width of the screen and starts from the new line. So as we have this two block element, so with this property, that is the display, we can change the behavior of this block element. It means we can make it as inline also. We can make this block elements behave like inline. So now it will not take full width of the screen. It will behave like inline elements. And both will come on the single line. So see, now it is behaving as inline element, although it is block element. Similarly, we can have. Now let's this time choose a inline element, that is the anchor element. Let's have another inline element on the same line only. So as these are inline elements, these are appearing on single lines only. These are not taking full width of the screen. So now we can change the behavior of this as well. So let's use that property, that is display. Now this time let's make it as block. Now these inline elements will behave like block elements. So see, these are taking full width of the screen. So now let's move on to our next property, that is list style. So what is the use of this? Let's have it. Suppose you have ULLI and then you have list 1. Similarly, you have list 2 and list 3. So you might find some use cases where you don't want these bullet points. So how to remove these bullet points? So to remove that, we need to have then li, and then we need to use this list style property. So this list style would be none. It means it will not display this bullet points. So see, you can have this for OLLI also, like for ordered list. Here in the ordered list, you have 1 to 3. You can remove this also. So see, with this property, you are removing the bullet points as well as the numbers. So let's move on to our next property, that is text decoration. So let's have the example of that also. Suppose we have anchor tag with href. Suppose, let's assume you have a navigation bar where you will have different sections like a home, contact, and similarly about. So sometimes in the navigation bar, you don't want this to be looking like a link. It means you don't want to have the underline. In navigation bars, these underlines won't look good. You only need to have the functionality that the anchor tag provides, like the redirection property. So suppose sometimes in navigation bars, you want the functionalities like the redirections, but you don't want it to look like a link, like this underlines. So with this property, that is text decoration, you can remove the link like underlines. So the text decoration would be none for this also. So now you will achieve the functionality of the redirections, but it won't look like links. When you will create navigation bar, there you will find the use of this property. So let's move on to our next property, that is border, along with border, radius, and border none. Let me show you this also. Suppose you have a button. Let's pick button. And with the border property, you can have this border none. It means it will remove this border. So see. Similarly, you can have the border radius. Or let me do one thing. Let me have an image also to have your understanding more. Suppose we have an image. So let me use those previous two properties, that is width and height. Let's have it as 100 pixel for now, and height would be 50. So now let's use these properties, that is border and border radius. So we can give the borders as well. Previously in the button, we removed the border of the button. Now we can give the border to this image. For that, we need to have border, the size of the border, solid. It means it will appear as a bold type text, like bold border. Without this, the border would be like thin border. So the size and then the solid and the color you want. Let's have it as black. So see, you can control the size also. Like instead of 10, you can have 4 pixels, solid black. Similarly, you can have the border radius. So if I give this to 10, you will see a curve around the corners. If I increase this, you will see the curve got increased from all the sides. If I give this to 50%, it became an elliptical one. So the next property would be cursor. So the cursor property is basically for this button. Let me remove this image. So now we have the button. Let's have this as cursor, as pointer. Now see, as soon as we are hovering over the button, it is becoming a pointer. Instead of the cursor, like we have the mouse cursor, it is becoming a pointer. So now let's have our next property, that is opacity. Let me remove this and have the image back. So I have the image back. Let's again control the size of that. So what do you mean by opacity? If I give this to 0.4, see the difference. The image is slightly visible. If I further reduce this like 0.2, it will be less visible again. So it controls the visibility of the image, the opacity property that we have. So let's have our last property, that would be top, bottom, right and left. So what do you mean by this? So let's suppose I have a div, and inside the div I have a p tag and a button. So let's have the color for the div to make that visible on the screen. The background color would be blue and the color would be white. So now let's have the button and give this as margin top like 30 pixel or maybe 50. It will leave 50 pixel space at the top. See, similarly we can have margin left. Now it will leave 50 pixel from left, and similarly right. And similarly as bottom. So see. So yes, these were the most commonly used CSS properties that we have. Although there are plenty of properties that you will learn when you will create web projects. So hope you understood about these basic properties. So see you all in the next one. Till then, take care.